All right, thank you very much, Mazi, for your kind word, and thank you for your submission as well. You see, the good thing about spaces for me is about we agree and we disagree with in respect, right? It's not we have somebody who say, "Oh, you're wrong, you're right." People shouting. So, Chief Kabal made his point. I looked at it and I said, "Okay, I agree with this and this," and you yourself have looked at it from a different way. The first time I heard the word obedient, the first time. Okay, let me put it out to you, Mazi. When was the first time you heard that name, Obedience? Can you remember? Let me throw that question to Chief Kaba. Chief Kaba, when was the first time you heard that word, obedience?
Yeah, it was early 2022. I think the name actually became very prominent immediately after the demand, while still at PDP. Even ever before Peter Obi went to the Labour Party, the name had started moving everywhere. Same 2022.
All right, let me shock you guys. The first time I heard that name, Obedient, was 2019 when Peter Obi was running with Atiki. And the first person that I saw that this is, it's from the Great Oracle. That was the first time I heard that thing, obedience. But 2022, it becomes something else. So I do like the point that we are all looking for Nigeria, and everybody has to come in and find themselves, what they can do. Even though there are quite a number of individuals who were not parts of the movement, as it were, at the beginning, but they have what it takes at this point to be part of it. I think, Mazi, you would agree with me and same with Chief about that you guys should accommodate those individuals. Find somebody who has what it takes, see what somebody can do to improve. It's not only the people, yes, that contributed money. It's a good thing that people started it. But then again, if you look around and you find somebody who was not part of it, or who did not even support you, then who laughed at you, who felt that you're only four persons tweeting in the room, but looking back right now, they think, guys, this is actually the right place to be. If you were on this platform yesterday, one of our very good friends who fought so hard for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I'm talking about Whitebird. You know him, right? Mazi, you know Whitebird? Okay, if we were on this platform yesterday, Whitebird said, if there's an election now, he's not going to vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The same man he wore his cap, the same man he did their march for in Lagos and everywhere. Whitebird said he's not going to vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And I pushed for him to speak it out. I said, what choice do you have? He said he has to go to the south, and I will be backing Peter Obi. This is the same individual who felt that obedient movement is nothing. Obedient movement cannot win election. But now he's looking back. He's looking at it like, the man I voted for had disappointed me. I'm going to back Peter Obi. So if someone like that wants to be part of the group and they have something to bring on board, do you see yourself? Perhaps I will put it on the jumbotron. But at a point, when they started the 1 million march, I remember my tweet. I will look for that tweet and put it here. Let it not be hearsay. And I said something like, I think that the people, I can't remember how I put it, but what, in essence, what I was trying to say is that people have to be very mindful of this movement, because this reminds me of Barack Obama 2017, right? Before he became the president. So people have to be very mindful. If people think this is not serious, they have to be very, very mindful of what this thing will be, because it looks like a joke. People thought it was quite a number of individuals who were paid to come out and protest, but you can see that this is pure organic. These guys, we are doing something that we have never seen. We are young people use their own money to support politicians. These were not people that were paid. People were going as far as Jigawa inside the bush. You see videos of people going in the. There's something that I didn't see during this election. It was quite amazing. It was quite inspiring, and so a lot of people who did not believe in them, I think they didn't take it serious, but these guys did amazing. They did an amazing job. So The conversation have changed. I was going to do my polling, but since I have you here, I'm going to take the advantage. Amazi, as long as you have some time to spare, I will ask some questions, if that's okay. If not, I will go back to what the space was meant. All right. So thank you very much, sir. You're one individual who, as far as this platform is concerned right now, Peter will be more than every other person on this platform. I want to believe that. And I remember prior to the time before he even started, before the whole election thing, you did an interview with him, that you went to his house in Agolo. Remember the interview I'm making reference to? Was it 2022, not 2002? Yes, yes, yes. You went to the house, and he was talking about wearing one shoe and everything, and you have followed him around. Looking back to the 2023 election, do you think that is there something that you think that he thought he could have done better as somebody who was aspiring to be president? Do you think there's something, based on the conversation that you have had with him, that you think, okay, if I have done this, things would have been different? Thank you very much. I know some of these questions might be a little bit difficult because you're very, very sorry, sir. I know. I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. As I always said, if it's not, if it's not something you want to respond, I'm not going to push. The only way I will push hard, if it's hard talk, I'm not going to spare you, right? I would ask you questions that I know that would be difficult, but I will do everything I can humanly possible to make sure I get the answer from you. So, let me move away from that now, of what he thinks or what he thinks of it. Now, what is your position on this coalition? Looking at this coalition, quite a number of individuals have made their feelings known that they will not be comfortable with some certain individuals being part of the coalition. Will you see yourself bringing anybody who would help to get Nigeria move Nigeria forward, irrespective of how you feel about the person? Without how do you see yourself accommodating a lot of people you might not be comfortable with? Yes, I do understand where you're coming from. You see, if I've known that this platform, these spaces would have been like this, I would have recorded, because I'm really, really enjoying this conversation. Chief Kaba, you have listened to Mazi. Do you have anything to add to what he said, or do you disagree with him in any way or shape?
I quite agree with him with what he said, and putting my own comments to context. Everything he said was right, but I play grassroots politics. For instance, when I joined the PDP in 2001, so we have what we call the units. We call it zonal meetings. It takes place on a Thursday evening. That's when you're close to your community, your neighbors. We have the ward meeting, we have the local government meeting, we have the state. I made sure I participated in all to have first-hand information. So I did something similar with the Labour Party, which I always attended the local government meetings. I live in Lagos and I participate, despite the fact that I no longer stay in that local government, which is mostly local government. I still go there to participate because that's where I still vote. It's a very tough place, tough terrain in Lagos to play politics. I moved away from there, but I still go back there. So I just share the feelings of the locals there, what they mumble about, a particular section of the country being on the forefront. But he was right on how it all started. The people that invested in the ObiDient movement were majorly the Igbos, and getting them to now stay at the background was going to be pretty difficult. So I didn't say that was wrong. We needed the best hands to run, and the people who are more dedicated to be at the forefront of the movement, which was great for me. I didn't have any issue with it. 99% of those we always talk about the movements were Igbos. When they see me, they actually think I'm Igbo. Yeah, but I'm not. So I agree with him. What Itobi could have done differently? Yes, a little bit about the wiki thing, just a little bit, but um, we have the Nigerian people, you know. I always tell everybody who gets to listen, they say APC Tinubu camp was the only one that campaigned everywhere, and I said how. How did that happen? When you have obedient movement, just like you said, there were videos of them in the bushes. Peter Obi went to the terrorist terrain, despite the fact he was warned and all that. He still went there. So for me, I think Peter Obi and the obedient movement did everything um, that needed to be done, and at the end of the day, won the election. If not that Nigeria is just a funny country, Peter Obi should have been the one in Aso Rock presiding over the affairs of the country. Yeah. So I agree with Mazi with everything he also said. I just gave a perspective of what I saw at the lower level, mainly, their feelings and what they always talked about. But I hope that would be addressed, and definitely a lot of people who regretted not supporting Peter Obi are going to support him in 2027, especially in Lagos and other southwestern states, even up north. A lot of people, but the issue with the Labour Party and everything, the platform Peter Obi is going to use needs to be put on track right away. Yeah, thank you.
So, okay, thank you, Chief, for your wonderful response. Now, during the course of this conversation, before Mazi came up as a speaker, I did ask you if you're comfortable with Peter B working with other individuals who would help him, who would add value in the words of Mazi. And you felt that you mentioned that you're not comfortable with quite a number, with some persons. Have you, listening to what Mazi said, have you changed your position? Do you still believe that I don't think he should work with everybody just to get to where he wants to get to?
Okay, my point is, I'm a grassroots politician. You don't exclude people. You carry everybody along. OBJ said in 1999, after he became president, he had to work with the good, the bad, and the ugly to become president, and pushed aside the bad and the ugly. My point is this: a Peter Obi El-Rufai ticket is what I will not support totally, despite the fact that vice presidents are usually made redundant. I would prefer Obidati, or if they're not going to, maybe for compromise sake, they want to work with other people, I would rather go with a Kwankwanso who can deliver me 2 million votes in Kano. He has a proven track record, to deliver Kano for me with Peter Obi. But with El-Rufai, no, I'm not comfortable with that partnership, and I doubt if Peter Obi will go with it. But if majority of Nigerians will go with it, then who am I? For the sake of sending APC out of office, we might just end up aligning. We might just end up aligning with it. But for now, I'm not in support of an El-Rufai Peter Obi ticket. I rather go for, if Obidati doesn't happen, I rather go for a Kwankwanso or someone else who can deliver the goods.
Okay, thank you for your wonderful submission. Mazi, you unmuted your mic. Do you want to respond? Okay, it's okay. It's fine. It's okay. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. I think I spoke about it the last time I hosted a space. From the information available to me, the individual people are pushing around. It's not even going to be on that ticket. Only if anything happens between now that we're hosting these spaces right now, And, the moment in the next 1 minute or two, right? 24 hours is a long time in politics, but for the sake of this conversation, I would say a minute is a long time in politics. Based on the information available to me, it's not even going to be it's not going to be on the ballot. But never say never, as you rightly said. Now, you said something, Mazi, don't mind it, please. If you're not able to respond, don't have to respond. Nobody is going to force you because your position is very, very critical. And you're a journalist. You've done a lot for Peter Obi. You've done a lot for not only for Peter Obi, for Nigeria in general. You've always tried to bring spaces on YouTube, and you record it so other people can hear it, so you amplify. Thank you very much for all that you have done. Now, you mentioned that if things were done and Wike was kind of bring on board and listen to Wike, that would have made it different. Would you have been happy if Peter Obi won the election and the likes of Wike was given that position that he was yearning for, or he was promised? Looking at this temperament and the way he's handling something, will you have been happy and say, "Whoa, we made it was a big mistake"? Are you think, one thing, we won the presidency, it doesn't matter whatever he said. Looking at this utterance and the way he has handled things, the way he has handled the governor of his state, and the way he has taken over, everything in River State. Right. Thank you very much, Mazi. Please, as I've said, if you're not comfortable to respond to this question, please, you don't have to. Now, during the course of 2023 election, yourself and Val Ozibo were part of the individual who were very close to Peter Obi. I mean, the reason I'm saying very close is because what transpired. Now, Val is no longer part of Peter Obi's team. He's not even no longer a part of the LP. How does that make you feel when you realize that he's moving to APC? Did you discuss with him? At any point he told you, I think I'm done here? Were you aware that this was going to happen? Thank you very much. I'm quite surprised that you actually went a little bit deeper, because I was thinking you're just going to answer it in a minute or two. But thank you. You mentioned that you spoke with him, and then he said that APC is not that a bad party. Do you see yourself joining APC anytime? Yeah, I mean, you can start a new movement even in APC as you did with the Labour Party. I think people are listening to you, and it's becoming a very interesting conversation this morning. And thank you once again for joining us. Now, the coalition talks are going left, right, and center. People don't know which party that will be used. There is problem in every other opposition parties. If for any reason this coalition was to happen, and it happens that Peter Obi, it was not the presidential candidate, do you still go? And another question, one of your very good friends, again, somebody you've worked with Peter Obi, Oseloka Obaze, had just resigned from Labour Party. Were you aware that he was going to resign, or do you think this is part of? Is it part of the strategy from the coalition? And he wrote a piece on Sunday talking about no one single party will be able to defeat the incumbent. All right, thank you very much. I mean, this is your own personal opinion, so people might disagree with it. Yeah, you have every right to stand from what you believe in. If anybody disagree, they might be able to raise their point, and maybe we will listen to them. But in the last couple of days, the president went to your state, Anambra State, and you listened to what your governor said, that he's going to support the president. Do you think he's speaking the voice of the Anambarians? Do you think he's just politics? Do you think he's actually going to do what he can to make sure he delivers some vote to the? That's quite interesting. So you're thinking, you believe that he's not going to get up to 15%. That's really interesting. Now, a lot of analysts has pointed out that the pathway for Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 27 is something akin to 2011 election, where Goodluck Jonathan was able to get all the southern states, and then go and the southern states and middle belt or north central. Where then in the north he was able to get Taraba, Adamawa, I think, and Bauchi. Now, based on what the analysts are saying out there, it looks like the North are not aligning with his presidency. So perhaps he's looking more in the South. Don't you think that he would do whatever he can to make sure he gets the numbers in Anambra State? Looking at, you follow politics, you understand politics more than myself and every other, most people, right? Don't you think that that would be the part? Because if the numbers are not aligning in the North, from what we're hearing, that he would do whatever he can to do, in your word, a do in Anambra State. Southeast is on lockdown, and some of the South are on lockdown. Now, on lockdown in the sense that because of Peter Obi, what happened? I mean, I want to believe that on lockdown because he's going to be the presidential candidate. Is he on lockdown in the sense that it doesn't matter whether he's the president or he's the vice president or he's not even on the ballot but he's supporting somebody? Would that make a difference? Because you didn't mute your mic, so I thought you were. Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much. Please, sir, if you don't mind, if you can find that video and put it on the Jumbotron, is it possible? Is it something you can do? Please don't stay for long because I'm still, the. Thank you very much. Why do you think that Peter Obi is so much loved by quite a number of people in Nigeria, not only people from the Southeast? I mean, in the North Central, a lot of people love him so much. What is it that he has done different from other Nigerian politicians that you think that young people who don't have no interest in politics are so glued to this man? Wherever you mention his name, it looks like everybody wants to be around him. What is it that he has done different? Because you're very close to him. I think you might share that with us if you don't mind, sir. All right, thank you very much. In 2019, he ran with Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. What is the relationship like? Are they still in good? I mean, I know what I know, but because it's an open space, I wanted you to speak because you're very close to him. What is the relationship like? Because it appears that they are not. Um, when something happens after the 2023 election, one would think one of them would blame the other, right? So Peter Obi has not come out to blame Atiku Abubakar. Why is that? Or do you think they see themselves working together again in the future? Thank you very, very much. Before I let you go, I know I've turned the spaces to interview. I hope you don't mind because all right. So I somebody posted something and said I should ask you a different kind of question. Why haven't Atiku blamed Peter Obi? But I don't think you're in a position because you're not. Are you that close to Atiku Abubakar? Okay. Why do you think Atiku has not blamed Peter Obi then? You posted is on the comment section. It's not on the jumbotron. It should be. If you can put it on the jumbotron, so people will be able to see it and go and rewatch it. Now, a lot of people have said that Peter Obi is so stingy. Permit me to put the word stingy, that he doesn't like to give out money. And prior to the campaign and the election of 2023, there's this mantra that we know the give shishi, right? But then again, we see a man who goes out, if not every day. I don't know. This guy does this, and it's becoming very interesting. He goes out to every part of the country. He reach out to people. He goes to nursing school. He gives out money. Sometime last year, he went to some part of the northern Nigeria and started digging borehole. Right now, how does the criticism that comes with it that he's only doing it for he's campaigning because he's doing this thing for people to vote for him? The man that has it been like this, or because he wanted to run for election, hence he started doing such things? very much, Mazi, for your wonderful response. It's going to get a little bit tough right now, because if you don't want to respond, I do understand your position. You don't have to. I have been one of the individuals who have criticized Peter Obi, and I'm not stopping in criticizing him, because I believe there are things I expect from him and his team to do, in terms of how he responds to things, in terms of how he positioned his person as somebody who's vying to be the president. Do you think that he takes on board this criticism and he feel bad about it? Do you think that he feels that this is who I am, I'm not going to change from what I do, in the sense that people cannot change my perspective of life and everything? This is how I know how to do things. Okay, sorry, Mazi, when your mic is on, I'm not, I'll look forward for you to mute it, so I know that you have finished. But thank you very much for this space. As I said, if I knew I was going it was going to turn out to be this way, I was going to ask you or any other person to record it, because it's very, very enlightening and very, very interesting. I've managed to put the video on the Jumbotron for those who would like to watch the video that Mazi mentioned in the course of the conversation. Please, it's on the Jumbotron. And if you have any question you want to ask to Mazi in regards to what he has said, please do send it via, you can put it on the comment section, or if you want to raise your hand and be a speaker and ask a question, you're welcome to ask a question. Anybody that wants to ask a question to Mazi, please, you're welcome to ask a question. Now that we've turned the spaces to Mazi's interview spaces, right? So Mazi, thank you once again for this, coming on the platform this morning. I'm going to go back to 2027. If there is something that you're very close to Peter B, have learned, what approach? Because a lot of people feel that the reason he lost the election is because he wasn't prepared enough. Do you think 2027 that you guys are prepared to protect the votes? In quote, because a lot of young people that I've spoken to, they said they voted, but their vote did not count. It appears that the man they voted did not protect their vote. Are you guys ready to protect the vote if for any reason Nigerians decide to back? All right, thank you very much, Mazi. So do we have anybody that has a question for Mazi? Please do request for the mic and ask your question. It's not contribution, please. Chief Kabal, sorry, I've not abandoned you. It would appear that I just left you by the side. No, Chief Kabal, you're still there with us, right?
I'm here. I'm actually enjoying and learning from Mazi.
Okay, you have to pay now. Well, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Do you have a question for Mazi? Or all right, because it's quite a very interesting space. It was not planned. We didn't plan to go. I mean, I came up to do my normal opinion, and then you listen to Mazi. So you listen to Chief Kaba, and you came up on spaces, and it turned out to be an interview, which for me is quite refreshing. Thank you very much. So let me quickly. Do you mind? People are requesting for the mic to ask questions. Are you comfortable with that? Thank you very much. So let me quickly approve the individuals who are requesting for the mic. Guys, please, let's keep it very simple, right? Go straight to your question, and no contribution, please. If you have a question, Joe the Reaper, good morning. The Zenith, good morning. I think we have this. Please, if you want to ask a question, raise your hand. I'll pass the mic to you. Okay, Didi, good morning. Your question, please.
Yeah, good morning, my insight. Good morning, Mazi. My question is this. Given the issues with Labour Party, since after the elections, we are supposed to have gained ground, and stabilized things in the party. But it seems that is currently far-fetched. So I was part of a space that had Nenadi Usman and Dr. Mo a few days ago, and I heard her submissions. But I feel like not knowing what our fate is in Labour Party is affecting a lot of things. And I feel we don't need to rush things, like we did in the previous election. So with your closeness to His Excellency, how do you think we can, handle this Labour Party issue? Because I don't think the people who have infiltrated the party, from what I know, are going to lose the grip of the party, so easily. Why are we not, like making a move early so we can just put our house in order before the campaign season kicks off? So that would be my question.
Very much, Mazia, and thank you, Didi, for your question. George Ripa, good morning. Please go ahead with your question, sir.
Thanks, Mindset. Good morning, everyone. So, the question I wanted to ask is in response to Maz's comments about protecting votes at the polling units. I might be wrong, but it doesn't seem like the manipulation of votes actually majorly happens at the polling units. It looks like it happens at the collation centers. How do we intend to checkmate that?
Thank you very much. I do not think that we have any more person on the platform who is requesting the mic to ask questions, but let me read out some of the questions on the timeline. Oweseta, I cannot pronounce your name properly, but I think you know yourself. So why can't Peter Obi join the protest? Is it him we voted? Is him we voted for? Imagine if he was Tinubu, it happened to. He would not only join the protest, he will mobilize foreign bodies to join. Mazi, do you want to respond to that? To the person that asked the question, thanks for responding. Let me quickly read out. Mr. A said, why am I only seeing around this interview on the media space? It seems like he's the mouthpiece of the Labour Party. Nobody from the other side seems to counter him. Do you want to respond to that? I mean, there's another question. I think something closer to that. Do you want me to read that out together so you can respond, or you want to respond to this one? All right, thank you very much. Let me read out the other question that just came through. Madmo News, he said, why are some ObiDient with influence on social media not pushing the electoral reform petition so it can trend? Don't we need to mount pressure on the government in this area? Very much, Mazi, for responding to that question from Madmo News. There's going to be a space tonight. The question about the judgment by the Supreme Court in regards to Labour Party and in regards to PDP. Prof. Chidi Odinka will be on this platform tonight. I'll put it out there as soon as I confirm the time. So he's going to speak on those things and speak more about the book that he wrote, The Electorate. And it's quite a very interesting book, and I recommend that people should go on Amazon and look for it and order. So if there's any question in regards to those judgments, please remember to join us this evening. I will put out the timing on the platform as we continue the spaces. Let me read out some of the. Please bring the question. If you have any question, put it on the comment section. I'm quite happy to read it out. But if you have opportunity to request for the mic and ask your question, I would allow you. Before I pass the mic to Armstrong, let me read out what Sonny Big said. He said, question, why Peter will be always explaining his tweets? Mazi, you want to question that came to my DM? This is not on the comment section. I would have loved it to be on the comment section. So he said, good morning. Mine said, when are Nigerians going to understand that winning the next election has nothing to do with votes? And Haba, exclamation mark. In 9 months, Peter Obi and the ObiDient movement literally worked on incredible miracle. But for the gatekeepers in INEC and the courts, that is where the focus needs to be in order for a win. The votes are already in. those new INEC officials needs to be grilled and made to feel uncomfortable by the public so that the right thing can be done. Anyway, that's anyway, great space training. All right. Thank you very much. That's from Miss Priscilla. I think that's a comment rather than a question. But Mazi, you have the right to respond if you think you want to respond to it. Thank you very much. So the next one before I allow you to leave. Good morning. Good afternoon. I said my question is I'm in Ijabode, Ogun State. I have been looking for a way to register as a Labour Party member, but I don't know how to go about it. How do I do it? So this is from Zenith the Food. Sorry, let me read out the name properly. Zenith Food and More. So Mazi is saying that he wants to join the Labour Party in Ijabode, Ogun State, but he's finding it difficult. Is there any advice you have for him? All right. Sorry, I'm going to keep you for a minute or two because there's another question that just came through. This is from Didi. Said, given that we lost the midterm elections and seem to lose Anambra as we don't even have a candidate, is His Excellency not worried that this event may affect our next acting, especially losing our spiritual base? All right. Thank you very much, Mazi, for your response to the person that asked a question. If you permit me, you spoke about Edo and you mentioned that one of the reasons that the candidate you supported did not do well because of the zoning arrangement, which, in my view, it appears that you regretting not listening to the people of Edo State. What lessons have you learned from Edo State? Because one of the reasons a lot of people 45 or 40 or 45% of people supported Peter Obi. He has everything going for him, a lot of young people. But one of the other reasons that people voted for him, they felt that it is not fair for the people of the Southeast, right? Every other region has produced a president. It's fair for people to support a Southeasterner. But then again, you have the opportunity in Edo State to listen to the people of Edo saying to you, we want this thing to go to Edo Central. But then you have somebody who has just finished from Edo South, continuing from Edo. What lesson have you learned? Or was there any time that you consulted with Mr. Peter Obi or your team and say, guys, this is not going to work? Did you guys have such meetings, or what lessons have you learned? All right, thank you. So let me read out the question from Chucks Jones. He said, but Peter Obi is not a fan of zoning. He has always believed in capacity and competence. Peter has said it times without, do not vote for me because it is our turn. So in other words, he's saying that Peter Obi believes that the right person should lead the state, in as much as the person is from a different zone. It's not their right to produce the candidate, but it has to be the right person. Now, that will not bring me to this question here. In this coalition, there's a lot of people who are saying that if it happens, we don't know if it's going to happen. If this coalition was to happen, that it has to be somebody from the Southeast, right? Now, and that has to be Peter Obi anyway. So if it's not, if Peter Obi believes that it's all about competence, which he has what it takes, but the coalition decide that he's not going to be the candidate, and then perhaps he will be the vice. What do you think he would? Do you think he will go for it? No. I know. I've asked this question before, but if you please permit, it's because of what Mr. Chuk said. But as I've said to you earlier on, if you don't want to respond to it, because we have responded to it, perhaps he was not here when you did that, right? But if you don't, thank you very much, Mazi Armstrong. Please do hold your thought for a minute. Let me read out what Chuk said. He said, "Dear mindset of Mazi, 2023 election showed us that our problem is the glitch. INEC and Judiciary, please, can we focus on how to avoid this happening in 2027? I think Mazi have touched on that already, and you know my position. I'm going to focus more on the Judiciary, but I'm quite happy for others to focus on on the issue of INEC. I think electoral reform, Mazi has touched on it. Then let me quickly read this one out as well. See if I can come up. Okay, Chidelity says, my question is, are you aware that some key and vocal obedience who gave everything in 2022, 2023 election during the campaign are complaining of being left out from the ongoing state and grassroots appointment by Dr. Tanko? As a close person to the judgment, can you look into this? Okay, unfortunately, I'm not close to this individual. You know my position. I'm not an obedient. I think Mazi won't want to respond to that. Mazi, that question is actually for you. All right, thank you very much. Umar, I didn't even know that Umar Sani is still on the platform. So Umar corrected what you said earlier on about the numbers that Olumide got in Edo States. I think Umar said Olumide got Abata scored 22,000 plus, not 4,000, because in the course of your submission, you mentioned you said 4,000. So. All right, Armstrong, please go straight to your question. We're going to round up quickly.
Thank you, Mindset. Good afternoon, Mazi, and every person on space. My question is straight on. So recently, I think it was this morning, I read a tweet by Professor Chidi Odinkalu on his new book, Electorate, where somebody was suggesting that he be a part of the conversation to amend, the electoral laws. And he said, what our problems are not the electoral laws. Our problems are the justices and the SANs and the lawyers who messed up that 2023 elections. So I just want Mazi to react to that, given that we know the level of work and advocacy, and voice that Professor Odinkalu has brought to this subject matter over 1 year now, and he has been very consistent. And I think that such a position should not be overlooked. So I'll let you hear your reaction to that. Thank you.
It appears we have lost Mazi. We lost you just for, it's not up to a minute, you just, but the moment I said it appears we lost you, that was when we lost it. So the other things you were saying, we were able to get it. Thank you very much, Mazi. I agree with you, because the 2023 election was something different. And I must say, in the last couple of days, I've been doing my opinion polls for my work. I've listened to people who still have the zeal to do the same thing that they did, if not more, in 2027. I've spoken to, we had conversation with a lot of people, both online and offline. And people are saying that, guys, it's not a problem. All we want is a better country. I remember the individual that we had on the spaces. I think he lives in America. He was saying, it's good to live somewhere else. It's good to live in a place that you have 24-hour electricity and what have you, but there's no place like home. That he spent his own money and he came back, he campaigned for Peter Obi and he voted for Peter Obi, and he's looking forward to do it. But he would like a situation whereby Peter Obi work with someone and be part of the coalition. So in buttressing what you said, it's just clear that a lot of people are still eager to do the same thing that they did before. So on that note, Mazi, thank you very, very much. And thanks to everyone that have joined these unplanned spaces that have turned out to be an interview with Mazi. I don't think I'm missing any questions on the timeline. And for those who mentioned Prophet Chidi Odinkano, Prof will be with us this evening. So Armstrong, please do join us. And Maz, I know you'll be with us as well. So the question about why he's not interested in electoral reforms, why he's focusing more in the corruption in the judiciary, you have the opportunity to ask him that question sometime this evening. Maz, your final thought as we round up. Thank you very much, son. Thanks to Chief Kaba, Armstrong, Umar, Sani, Gregory, and Bobby, every other person that have joined this afternoon and be part of this conversation. Please, guys, Mazi has streamed this conversation. Is on his YouTube, right? Mazi, this conversation you streamed it on your YouTube channel, I believe, right? We'll see you guys later this evening, and because we're going to have Prof. Chidi Odinkano. But whatever you do, keep supporting your candidate, believe in your candidate, do whatever you can do legally to continue to do what is right for this country. Thank you, and God bless you.